Hello, everybody. It is Friday, October 18th. Yeah, Friday. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all good. I really hope you're all good. There's a couple things I want to talk about today. First of all, boxing today. I spar every day. And if you box, or I guess if you do any kind of combat sports at a competitive level, and believe me, I don't compete. I'm just talking about like in a gym where you're one-on-one with a guy. One thing about, a sparring situation, or if you're rolling in jiu-jitsu or something like that, it just shows you, it exposes you for what you need to learn. Like I've been doing this for a year now. I've been doing boxing for a year, and definitely like on drills and working pads and stuff like that, I feel like I've progressed and I'm pretty good. But as soon as you get in that ring and you're one-on-one with somebody, it really exposes your weaknesses and what you need to work on. And me personally, I need to work on a lot. I sparred with a guy today. I don't know his level. All I could tell you, he's kind of a jittery fighter in the sense like, his movements were kind of herky-jerky. He had good head movement. He had good counters. He threw me off. I definitely have the range. I'm long, I'm lanky. I have the range over pretty much everybody. But I'm not really adept at using that yet. Like I know about it now. I'm conscious of it. The coaches tell me, hey, Mike, you got these long arms and everything. Like, you got an advantage. So, like, I try to use that, but I still need a lot of work. And the sparring exposes you. And the only reason I'm saying this is because it's good in whatever you do to, subject yourself to a situation that's uncomfortable, that exposes like what you need to learn, what you need to figure out, how you need to adjust or make improvements. So anyway, that's it. I want to talk about Elon Musk. Maybe I've spoken about him in the past, I don't know. But I think Elon Musk, everybody can agree, he's certifiably a genius. Between Tesla and SpaceX and Starlink and the neuro thing that he has and the Boring Company and, everything else. The guy's an incredible genius, or at the very least, he is prolific in being able to take ideas and bring them to fruition. Okay, you could argue whether or not those ideas are good or valid or beneficial to society or, worth what they are purported to be worth. That's a separate argument. But the idea that he could take, the thing that he could take an idea and bring it to fruition, many things, not just one thing. Okay, we could have an example like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was another one, maybe in that category, but in a different sense. But look what he did. Like, we're all walking around with iPhones or, mobile phones, which that was his innovation, okay? But, so yeah, that's Elon Musk. But Elon Musk, when it comes to understanding government finance, when it comes to understanding sovereign money, he is totally, totally clueless. Now, he's been on this rant, which recently has really gone way up. He's ramped it up about how the government, the United States is going to go bankrupt because the government is spending so much money. And you would think a guy like this, with his intelligence, he would be able to research this stuff. It's not like it's hidden or anything like that, or at least he would be able to look at, well, I always say, like, if you can look at the theory, and if it doesn't, or if you can look at your assumption and it doesn't conform to the empirical evidence, then that's a clue right there that you have to go back and re-examine your theory or your assumption, all right? So like, if you're talking about the debt, which I don't even use that word anymore. I've said on this channel that really the way to say that is the dollar supply. If you look at that and you say that's going to cause a bankruptcy of the United States of America, I mean, that's just silly and ridiculous. And again, to use a very simplistic example to anyone who has ever played the Monopoly game, the game has to distribute the money before anyone can play the game. And actually, if you read the rules of the game, it actually says in the rules, if you run out of those, Monopoly dollars, just write denominations on a piece of paper. And this is exactly exemplifies or describes the system of fiat money, and which is currency issued by the government, where all of its so-called debts or liabilities is denominated in that currency. I went over a whole big thing on the national debt many, many times on this channel, only to say, again, all that is the dollar supply, and it's the dollar supply that we collectively, as the non-government globally, that's what we hold, that's what we own, that's part of our assets. It's not something in any way that is a danger to the system. And, if you're going to talk about dollar supply, I mean, I said this the other day, okay? If you're going to talk about dollar supply automatically and necessarily causing inflation, then I said, you're not a capitalist, because a capitalist understands that capitalism is based on the profit incentive, the profit motive, and you need customers. If you're a capitalist that produces things, you need customers to buy those things. And it doesn't matter if the customers are the private citizens of a nation or the world, or if it's a government, or if it's a mixture of both. Yeah, you might want to argue that we had this discussion. I talked about it the other day, malinvestment, that the government's investments are no good. You got to prove that to me, okay? I mean, maybe you have a valid point. I happen to like a strong military and a strong defense. I happen to like the fact that the government provides Social Security. And by the way, we pay into Social Security. So it's not like a gift. That's taken out in our payroll taxes, all right? So, you got to stop with this shit, because it's totally ridiculous. And, Musk, of all people, whose firms have benefited enormously, more than any of us, as a result of government research. He's piggybacking on government research and development and subsidies to defense industries and technology that was born. The internet was born as a result of a government project. So now he wants to say, he says, we got to cut massively spending. In a way, and I hope this doesn't happen, but in a way, this is what America deserves. Because if this is the majority view, and the only reason I say that, I'm not trying to be cruel, purposely try to inflict pain on people. But if people are stupid, and if they're uneducated and misinformed, and they adhere to mythology and all this bullshit, then they deserve to get hurt. Okay, me personally, I would not get hurt, because if I saw that happening, I would know how to use the financial markets to my advantage. Okay, I would come out actually very, very good with that. And that's not bragging. That's not patting myself on the back. That just means I have an understanding. And I don't adhere to this stupid mythology. And for Musk, a genius, to come out and say shit like that, Like, it's very, very, very disappointing, particularly when you consider the fact that this guy, a lot of people hate him, but a lot of people listen to him as well. All right? So, like, this stuff, and in a way, again, I would like to see it happen only because of the impact it would have on his companies. And the irony is, I don't even think that would teach him a lesson. He would come up with some excuse as to why Tesla went down the drain and SpaceX went down the drain and all his other ventures and his personal fortune would go down the drain. He would probably say it's because of that government spending that happened over the last, 50 years. Ridiculous. Like, take some time to learn this shit, all right? But I'm not naive to believe that people are going to do that. So, again, me personally, I'm protected only because I understand. I have knowledge. I have understanding. I think people who, are with me, followers, etc., subscribers, they also have understanding. They're going to end up to be fine. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. But I mean, when you get a guy like Musk talking about this shit, a lot of people in high policy positions are going to take notice and they're going to say, oh, it must be time to do something about this because Elon Musk is talking about this. I mean, seriously? I'm not scared, folks. I am not scared, and there's way worse things that could happen in life. But if it does happen, many, many people who are of this opinion, including very, very wealthy people, billionaires, who are of this opinion, they're going down hard. I'm not going down. And my people, my followers are not going down. Those at least who have taken the time to learn and understand. But Elon Musk and all the Musk companies are going down. And so, like, I don't know what else to say, but it's very, very disappointing to have a guy with such a level of intelligence talking like that, like a fool. Like, does it really take that much to understand? If you are a man of science, of engineering, it's a classic example. If you're an engineer, which he is, you design something, an engineered system that you think is going to work in a certain way, and then you send it out there, and it bombs. What do? You go back and you rethink the engineering process. When his autonomous cars, they crash or whatever, what does he do? What does Tesla do? It re-examines the engineering aspect of that system. Why did it crash? Let's change it. So, like, if this so-called debt keeps going up and up and up, and again, if you want to talk about inflation, you got to convince me that government spending necessarily leads to the inability of the economy to produce the goods and services that the additional spending demands. If you could prove that to me, like you were able, you could have proven that to me in the pandemic because the whole global supply chain was shut down. But if you could prove that to me in a normally functioning economy, that just because of spending, the ability of the productive capacity is just not going to be there, I will agree with you. Yes, there will be inflation in that sense. If you can prove to me we're not going to have the labor and the physical assets, the real assets to create the product that spending is there to consume, I will agree with you. But first you have to prove to me that that is automatically and necessarily going to be the situation. And, I challenge you to prove that to me in every case. Yes, when the whole global supply chain is shut down due to a pandemic and government restrictions that closes down businesses and ports and everything else and airports, yes, I understand that. But in a normal functioning economy, if you're going to say that automatically spending creates inflation, you're going to have to prove to me why. And it's not just about the dollars. You're going to have to show me how those dollars automatically create a situation where firms cannot meet the demand in terms of higher product. I mean, we have, what are we like, 76% capacity utilization in this country? We're literally 24% below 100. You know, in the 1960s, we were like 90% capacity utilization. We're not using our full capacity here. And by the way, there's enormous amounts of excess capacity. Now it's a global economy. It's in China. It's in Vietnam. It's in Thailand. It's in, all these places. So prove to me that that's not going to be capable to meet the demand that the extra spending requires. Come on, folks. Wise up with this. Get off your mythology thing. Get off your, I don't know, man. But it's very disappointing when a guy like Musk, with all his brain power, I mean, all of you guys that follow me, if we're going to take an IQ test on this, you'd be 160, Musk would be 80. All right, that's basically what it boils down to. Anyway, that's it for my rant for today. No cowboy hat. I went through all my cowboy hats. I went to the gun range today, had a great time, and I think I'm going to go tomorrow again. And it's all good, folks. Don't forget, please like and subscribe and go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial to MMT Trader. I'll see you. Maybe I'm going to start doing these things over the weekend. I think I might. Bye.